Question 1. A Scrum team has completed a sprint, and during the sprint review, stakeholders express dissatisfaction with the increment because it doesn't align with their current understanding of the market needs. Which Scrum event would be the most appropriate place to adapt the product backlog based on this feedback for future sprints? A. Daily Scrum. B. Sprint retrospective. C. Sprint planning. D. Product backlog refinement. Answer D. Product backlog refinement. Product backlog refinement is the ongoing process of adding detail, estimates, and order to items in the product backlog. This event, though not a formal Scrum event with a fixed time box, is crucial for incorporating new insights and feedback from stakeholders, like that gathered during the sprint review, to ensure the product backlog accurately reflects the evolving market needs. By continuously refining the backlog, the team prepares upcoming work to be clear, estimated, and ready for future sprints. Remember that the product backlog is a living artifact that changes as new information becomes available. Question 2. A project team is working on an agile project and discovers that a significant technical risk could impact the project's ability to deliver value. The team wants to quickly assess and mitigate this risk without committing to a full implementation. Which agile approach would be most suitable? A. Creating a detailed risk register and tracking it through the project. B. Developing a minimum viable product, MVP, to test the riskiest assumptions. C. Escalating the risk immediately to senior management for a decision. D. Postponing the risk mitigation until the later stages of the project. Answer B. Developing a minimum viable product, MVP, to test the riskiest assumptions. In agile environments, risks are often addressed proactively by learning and adapting, rather than solely through extensive upfront planning. An MVP is a strategy to develop a version of a new product with just enough features to satisfy early customers and provide feedback for future product development. By creating an MVP focused on the risky technical element, the team can quickly gain validated learning, test assumptions, and assess feasibility with minimal investment, allowing for early course correction. This agile approach emphasizes delivering value incrementally and learning through rapid experimentation. Question 3. During a sprint planning meeting, the Scrum team is struggling to estimate the effort for several product backlog items because they are complex and have many unknowns. What is the most appropriate action for the team to take? A. Assign arbitrary large estimates to the items and move on. B. Break down the complex items into smaller, more manageable pieces. C. Ask the product owner to remove the complex items from the sprint backlog. D. Vote on an estimate based on the majority opinion, regardless of understanding. Answer B. Break down the complex items into smaller, more manageable pieces. When product backlog items are too large or complex to estimate accurately, the most effective agile practice is to decompose them into smaller, more granular items. This allows the team to gain a better understanding of the work, reduce uncertainty, and provide more accurate estimates, which is essential for effective sprint planning. Smaller items also promote continuous flow and allow for more frequent delivery of working software. Think of it like eating an elephant. You do it one bite at a time. Question 4. A new team member joins an existing agile project. They are asking about the primary mechanism for coordinating daily work and identifying impediments. Which Scrum event should the new team member be directed to attend? A. Sprint review. B. Sprint retrospective. C. Daily Scrum. D. Sprint planning. Answer C. Daily Scrum. The Daily Scrum is a short, time-boxed event, 15 minutes, for the development team to synchronize activities and create a plan for the next 24 hours. During this event, team members typically discuss what they did yesterday, what they will do today, and any impediments preventing them from accomplishing their sprint goal. This event is the team's primary opportunity to coordinate daily work and identify obstacles, making it essential for the new team member to understand its purpose and attend regularly. Consider it the team's daily huddle to stay aligned and address issues quickly. Question 5. In an Agile project, the product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team. What is the primary tool or artifact used by the product owner to manage and communicate product priorities? A. Project management plan. B. Risk register. C. Product backlog. D. Sprint backlog. Answer: C. Product backlog. The product backlog is an ordered list of everything that might be needed in the product and is the single source of requirements for any changes to be made to the product. The product owner is solely responsible for its content, availability, and ordering, ensuring that the work the development team does delivers the most value. It is a dynamic living artifact that evolves as new information and feedback emerge. Think of it as the product owner's master wish list for the product. Question 6. A Scrum team has noticed that despite consistently completing their planned work each sprint, the overall quality of the software is declining and technical debt is accumulating. Which Scrum event is the most appropriate place for the team to discuss these issues and plan for improvements in their process? A. Daily Scrum. B. Sprint review. C. Sprint planning. D. Sprint retrospective. Answer: D. Sprint retrospective. The Sprint retrospective is a formal Scrum event dedicated to inspecting how the last sprint went with regard to individuals, interactions, processes, tools, and their definition of done. The purpose is to identify what went well, what could be improved, and create a plan for implementing improvements in the next sprint. This event is the dedicated time for the team to reflect on and adapt its processes, making it the ideal forum for discussing declining quality and accumulating technical debt to ensure continuous improvement. Always remember that retrospectives are about inspecting and adapting the way the team works. Question 7. An Agile team is experiencing frequent changes to requirements mid-sprint, causing disruption and preventing them from meeting their sprint goal. Who has the primary authority to protect the sprint goal and the development team from external interference during a sprint? A. The project manager. B. The product owner. C. The Scrum Master. D. The stakeholders. Answer: C. The Scrum Master. The Scrum Master serves the Scrum team in several ways, including coaching the development team in self-organization and cross-functionality, removing impediments to the development team's progress, and ensuring that external stakeholders understand which interactions with the Scrum team are helpful and which are not. In this scenario, protecting the sprint goal and the team from disruptive mid-sprint changes falls squarely within the Scrum Master's responsibilities as a servant leader. The Scrum Master acts as a shield, allowing the team to focus on achieving the sprint goal. Question 8. A team is starting a new Agile project, and they need to establish a shared understanding of what constitutes a complete and high-quality piece of work for each product backlog item. What should the team define to ensure this consistency and quality? A. Release plan. B. Sprint goal. C. Definition of done. D. Product vision. Answer: C. Definition of done. The definition of done, DOD, is a formal description of the state of the increment when it meets the quality measures required for the product. It creates a shared understanding within the Scrum team of what it means for work to be complete. Without a clear DOD, the team's understanding of done can vary, leading to inconsistencies, quality issues, and an inability to deliver truly releasable increments. Establishing a robust DOD early on helps ensure transparency and quality for every piece of work delivered. Question 9. An Agile team is struggling with getting timely decisions from a key stakeholder, which is impeding the progress of several high-priority features. What is the most effective approach for the project manager or scrum master to take in this situation? A. Remove the stakeholder from the project communication loop. B. Escalate the issue directly to the stakeholders manager. C. Facilitate a direct conversation between the team and the stakeholder to understand concerns and establish a communication rhythm. D. Delay the features until the stakeholder becomes more responsive. Answer: C. Facilitate a direct conversation between the team and the stakeholder to understand concerns and establish a communication rhythm. In Agile, proactive and direct communication is crucial for effective stakeholder engagement. The Scrum Master or Project Manager should act as a facilitator, bringing the team and the stakeholder together to collaboratively identify the root cause of the delay in decision-making and establish a mutually agreeable communication plan or cadence. This approach fosters transparency, builds trust, and helps in resolving impediments collaboratively rather than antagonistically. Remember, effective communication is key to overcoming obstacles and maintaining flow. Question 10. A product developed by an Agile team is frequently encountering bugs shortly after release, even though it passed all internal tests. The team feels pressured to deliver quickly and often cuts corners on testing. What is the most appropriate Agile engineering practice to address this issue and improve quality? A. Focus on increasing the velocity to deliver more features. B. Implement continuous integration and automated testing. C. Add more manual testers at the end of each sprint. D. Reduce the frequency of releases to allow more time for testing. Answer: B. Implement continuous integration and automated testing. Continuous integration, CI, is an Agile engineering practice where developers frequently integrate their code into a shared repository, and each integration is verified by an automated build and test. This practice, coupled with comprehensive automated testing, allows for early detection of defects, reduces the risk of integration issues, and provides immediate feedback on code quality. By automating tests and integrating continuously, the team can maintain high quality even with frequent deliveries, reducing the likelihood of bugs slipping into production. Quality is built in, not bolted on. Question 11. During an Agile project, a critical technical dependency emerges that requires coordination with an external team outside the project's direct control. What is the most Agile-aligned approach to manage this dependency? A. Create a formal service level agreement, SLA, with the external team. B. Add the dependency to a centralized project risk register and monitor it. C. Facilitate direct, regular communication and collaboration channels between the teams. D. Report the dependency to senior management for intervention. Answer: C. Facilitate direct, regular communication and collaboration channels between the teams. Agile emphasizes direct, frequent communication and collaboration over formal documentation and top-down control, especially when dealing with external dependencies. The most effective approach is to establish open lines of communication, regular sync-ups, and a shared understanding of needs and timelines between the involved teams. This promotes transparency, allows for proactive problem solving, and builds a collaborative relationship to manage the dependency efficiently. Remember, face-to-face interaction is the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team. Question 12. The product owner is struggling to prioritize the product backlog due to conflicting requests from multiple stakeholders, each claiming their features are the most important. Which Agile technique can help the product owner facilitate a more objective prioritization? A. Must-go prioritization. Must, should, could, won't. B. Earned value analysis. EVA. C. Critical path method. CPM. D. Resource leveling. Answer: A. Must-go prioritization. Must, should, could, won't. Must-go prioritization is a widely used Agile technique for prioritizing requirements by categorizing them into 4 groups: must-have, essential, should-have, important but not critical, could-have, nice to have, and won't have, not for this release. This method provides a clear framework for the product owner to facilitate discussions with stakeholders, gain consensus, and make objective decisions based on business value and urgency. It helps manage expectations and ensures that the most critical items are delivered first. Question 13. An Agile team decides to adopt story points for estimating the effort required for product backlog items. Which of the following is the primary benefit of using story points over traditional time-based estimates example hours? A. Story points guarantee more accurate estimates. B. Story points focus on the relative complexity, effort, and uncertainty rather than just time. C. Story points are easier for external stakeholders to understand. D. Story points eliminate the need for detailed task breakdown. Answer: B. Story points focus on the relative complexity, effort, and uncertainty rather than just time. Story points are a unit of measure for expressing the overall effort required to implement a product backlog item or any other piece of work. They reflect not just the time, but also the complexity, risk, and uncertainty associated with the task. This relative sizing technique moves away from precise time commitments, which can be difficult to predict in agile environments, and instead encourages teams to think about the work in terms of its overall size compared to other items, leading to more realistic and collaborative estimation. Question 14. A product is nearing its release, and the development team has completed all planned features. However, new bugs are being discovered, and the team is struggling to fix them while simultaneously preparing for release. What concept, often used in Agile, would indicate that the product is not truly ready for release despite features being coded? A. Velocity. B. Impediment. C. Definition of done. D. Sprint goal. Answer: C. Definition of done. The definition of done, DOD, signifies that all work required to make a product backlog item potentially shippable has been completed, including thorough testing and bug fixes. If a product is still encountering bugs and is not fully stable, it indicates that the team's current definition of done might not be comprehensive enough, or they are not adhering to it, meaning the work isn't truly done in the sense of being ready for release. A strong DOD ensures that increments are genuinely shippable at the end of each sprint. Question 15. The Scrum Master observes that the development team members are frequently working in isolation, leading to knowledge silos and slower problem solving. What is the most appropriate action for the Scrum Master to encourage better collaboration and knowledge sharing within the team? A. Mandate daily pair programming sessions for all tasks. B. Arrange for formal training sessions on team collaboration. C. Coach the team on the benefits of self-organization and cross-functionality and facilitate opportunities for collective work. D. Assign a dedicated knowledge transfer lead to document all processes. Answer: C. Coach the team on the benefits of self-organization and cross-functionality and facilitate opportunities for collective work. The Scrum Master acts as a servant leader and coach, not a manager who dictates work. Instead of mandating specific practices, the Scrum Master should coach the development team on the principles of self-organization, cross-functionality, and the benefits of collective ownership. This involves facilitating discussions on how to improve collaboration, perhaps by encouraging practices like pair programming, mob programming, or more frequent knowledge sharing sessions, thereby empowering the team to find their own solutions. The goal is to foster an environment where the team naturally opts for collaboration to improve efficiency and quality. Question 16. An Agile project has successfully delivered several increments. Now, the organization wants to apply Agile principles to manage a portfolio of related products, rather than just a single product. Which concept describes this approach to scaling Agile across multiple products or programs? A. Value stream mapping. B. Release planning. C. Scaling Agile Frameworks example, SAFE, LASS, Scrum at scale. D. Test-driven development, TDD. Answer C. Scaling Agile Frameworks example, SAFE, LASS, Scrum at scale. Scaling Agile refers to applying Agile principles and practices beyond a single team or project to manage multiple products, programs, or even entire organizations. Various frameworks like Scaled Agile Framework, SAFE, Large-Scale Scrum, LASS, and Scrum at Scale provide structures and guidance for coordinating multiple Agile teams working on interdependent products or a shared portfolio. These frameworks address challenges like synchronization, governance, and consistent value delivery at an enterprise level. When you hear about Agile across multiple teams, think scaling. Question 17. During a sprint, a development team member identifies a significant technical impediment that will prevent the team from completing their work. The team has already tried to resolve it internally without success. Who is primarily responsible for removing this impediment? A. The product owner. B. The Scrum Master. C. The functional manager. D. The development team member who identified it. Answer B. The Scrum Master. One of the core responsibilities of the Scrum Master is to remove impediments that hinder the development team's progress. While the team should first attempt to resolve impediments themselves, if they are unable to, the Scrum Master steps in to facilitate the resolution, which might involve coordinating with external teams, escalating to management, or acquiring necessary resources. The Scrum Master acts as a facilitator and servant leader to ensure the team can focus on delivering the sprint goal. Question 18. A project manager is transitioning from a traditional predictive environment to an agile one. They are used to creating a detailed project schedule upfront. How does an agile approach typically handle project planning, especially for long-term deliverables? A. A detailed fixed long-term schedule is created at the beginning and strictly adhered to. B. Planning is adaptive, with short-term iterations and frequent replanning based on feedback. C. Planning is entirely eliminated and the team just starts coding. D. The product owner creates the entire plan for the team to execute. Answer B. Planning is adaptive, with short-term iterations and frequent replanning based on feedback. Agile planning is inherently adaptive and iterative, contrasting sharply with the upfront, detailed planning of traditional methodologies. While an agile project may start with a high-level product roadmap or release plan, detailed planning occurs just in time at the beginning of each sprint or iteration. This allows the team to incorporate new information, stakeholder feedback, and changing market conditions, making the plan flexible and responsive to change. Remember, in Agile, you plan just enough, just in time, to adapt to evolving realities. Question 19. An Agile team is performing sprint planning. The product owner presents a new, high-priority product backlog item, but the development team states they don't have the necessary skills to implement it. What is the most appropriate Agile response to this situation? A. The product owner should remove the item from the backlog. B. The development team should commit to learning the skill during the sprint. C. The development team should collaborate with the product owner to find alternative solutions or training. D. The Scrum Master should immediately hire an external consultant to assist. Answer C. The development team should collaborate with the product owner to find alternative solutions or training. In Agile, the development team is self-organizing and cross-functional, meaning they collectively possess all the skills necessary to deliver increments. If a skill gap is identified, the most appropriate Agile response is for the development team to communicate this to the product owner and collaboratively seek solutions, which might include acquiring the skill through training, pairing with someone who has the skill, or reprioritizing the item until the skill is obtained. This fosters transparency and ensures the team's commitment is realistic. Question 20. A product owner continuously adds new high-priority items to the product backlog, leading to a backlog that is overwhelmingly large and difficult to manage. What is the best agile practice to help the product owner maintain a healthy and manageable product backlog? A. Freeze the product backlog and prevent any new additions. B. Implement a product backlog refinement cadence to regularly review, prune, and order items. C. Delegate the product backlog management to the Scrum Master. D. Only allow items that directly contribute to the current sprint goal. Answer. B. Implement a product backlog refinement cadence to regularly review, prune, and order items. Product backlog refinement, formerly known as grooming, is the ongoing process of adding detail, estimates, and order to items in the product backlog. This activity ensures that the backlog remains clear, understandable, and manageable, and that the top items are always ready for upcoming sprints. By regularly engaging in refinement, the product owner, often with the development team, can continuously adapt and prune the backlog, ensuring it remains a valuable and actionable list of priorities. Question 21. An agile team is frequently missing its sprint goals and consistently under-delivering on its commitments. During the sprint retrospective, the team identifies that their estimates are often inaccurate, and they are taking on too much work per sprint. What is the most appropriate action the team should take to improve their commitment ability? A. Increase the length of future sprints to allow more time. B. Reduce the amount of work they commit to in future sprints based on their observed velocity. C. Request the product owner to reduce the complexity of product backlog items. D. Conduct more detailed upfront planning for each product backlog item. Answer. B. Reduce the amount of work they commit to in future sprints based on their observed velocity. Velocity is a key agile metric representing the amount of work a development team completes in a sprint, typically measured in story points. If a team consistently underdelivers, it indicates that their commitments are exceeding their actual capacity. The most effective agile approach is to use their historical velocity as a guide to realistically forecast how much work they can commit to in upcoming sprints, thus improving their ability to meet sprint goals. It's about taking on sustainable pace, not just trying harder. Question 22. In an agile project, when stakeholders frequently change their minds about features or priorities, what is the best approach to incorporate these changes while minimizing disruption? A. Resist all changes once the sprint has started. B. Incorporate changes only during the sprint planning meeting for the next sprint. C. Implement a strict change control process with formal documentation. D. Add all requested changes immediately to the current sprint backlog. Answer. B. Incorporate changes only during the sprint planning meeting for the next sprint. Agile embraces change but manages it in a structured way to avoid disrupting the current sprint stability. Once a sprint begins, the development team commits to a sprint goal and a set of product backlog items in the sprint backlog. Changes to the sprint backlog that would endanger the sprint goal are highly discouraged. Therefore, new requirements or changes are typically added to the product backlog for prioritization and consideration in subsequent sprints, allowing the current sprint to complete its committed work without interruption. This approach balances flexibility with predictability. Question 23. A common challenge in agile teams is the buildup of technical debt, which can slow down future development. What is technical debt in an agile context? A. The cost of purchasing new development tools and software licenses. B. The interest paid on loans for project funding. C. The implied cost of additional rework caused by choosing an easy solution now instead of using a better approach that would take longer. D. The outstanding invoices from third-party vendors for completed work. Answer. C. The implied cost of additional rework caused by choosing an easy solution now instead of using a better approach that would take longer. Technical debt, a powerful metaphor coined by Ward Cunningham, represents the long-term consequences of prioritizing speed and quick fixes over robust, maintainable solutions in software development. It's like accruing debt. You get an immediate benefit, quick delivery, but you pay interest later in the form of increased effort, slower development, and more bugs due to poor design, inadequate testing, or shortcuts. Agile teams strive to minimize technical debt by emphasizing quality, refactoring, and a definition of done that includes thorough testing. Question 24. A team is working on an agile project and is experiencing significant issues with integration between different components of the software, leading to frequent build failures. What agile engineering practice would directly address this issue? A. Pair programming. B. Test-driven development, TDD. C. Continuous integration. D. Refactoring. Answer C. Continuous integration. Continuous integration, CI, is an agile engineering practice where developers integrate their code into a shared repository frequently, typically several times a day. Each integration is then automatically verified by an automated build and test process. This practice ensures that integration issues are detected and resolved early and often, preventing large, complex integration problems from building up, which is exactly what the team is experiencing. CI helps maintain a clean, stable codebase ready for deployment at any time. Question 25. The core principle of self-organizing teams is fundamental to agile methodologies. Which of the following best describes the role of a self-organizing team? A. The team members report to a central project manager for all task assignments. B. The team internally decides how to best accomplish their work to achieve the sprint goal. C. The team independently selects the product features to be developed. D. The team works without any leadership or guidance from external roles. Answer B. The team internally decides how to best accomplish their work to achieve the sprint goal. A self-organizing team in Agile means that the team members collectively decide how to best perform the work they've committed to, without being micromanaged. While they are guided by the product owner's priorities and the Scrum Master's facilitation, the team members themselves determine their process, allocate tasks, and solve problems to achieve the sprint goal. This empowerment fosters ownership, innovation, and greater efficiency. Remember, self-organization is about how the work gets done, not what work gets done.